Good morning. We are getting ready for yoga. I am about 2 minutes ahead of schedule, so if you're watching the replay, you can fast forward a couple minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to go over to Facebook. I'm going to add in our playlist because I forgot to add it in the description, and then we'll get going. So, good morning, if I didn't already say that. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is when you're watching this. All right, I gotta type this. Like, I've learned I cannot talk and type. All right, I added a playlist. I'm gonna make sure our sound is okay. Oh, good grief. All right, just a second. Just a second. Sound. Internal. Okay. All right, I added a playlist. I'm gonna make sure our sound is okay. Now I can hear myself. Okay. Every time I have to record a Zumba class for the Zen Studio, good morning, Betty, I have to change all of my settings and then I can't hear anything. Anyway, that was not the problem last Friday. Last Friday, I simply didn't attach or change my settings for my microphone. And unlike here where I can see comments, I can't see comments in that event. It's a weird glitch that Facebook has with its, anyway, doesn't matter. Okay, so I am going to start my playlist and then we'll get going. Oh, I meant to say, the reason we're having class early this week at 11 instead of 4 is because tonight is my Star Wars yoga because it's May the 4th, and that is at 7, so I need some time to set things up. And I was initially just going to use a replay today, but the Zumba people are also doing a virtual conference, and this is the second week of it, and there's a bunch of things that I want to attend on Thursday, and Thursday would be technically the next day I would do a replay because last week I did Wednesday. Anyway, so suffice to say, I decided to do this class early so I could have some time for those other things. Anyway, let's get started. So we're going to lay down on our mats. And if you have a yoga eye pillow, of course, you can use that. If you have a kitty, of course, you can use that. And we'll lay back, knees bent or out long, whichever works better for you. I'm going to take a few minutes just to relax on our place, on our mats. Now, if there is any sound issues today, leave a comment because I can see them today. Just bring our focus in on our breath. Noticing all the places where our body connects with our mat, connects with the earth. And feeling the support of our mat and the earth beneath us. Knowing that we can relax our muscles, releasing tension, knowing that we're supported. Then continuing with your eyes closed or opening them if you feel more comfortable. We're going to exhale as we draw one knee in towards our chest. Inhale as we extend that leg out. Opposite leg, exhale, drawing in. Inhale as we extend, and just taking your time, flowing side to side. And then on the next exhale, let's bring both knees in, hands behind the knee joint, gently rocking a little bit side to side. Maybe drawing that oval shape in the air with your knees. Bringing your feet back down to the floor. We're going to come into our flowing bridge. So gently lifting our hips, peeling one vertebrae at a time up off of our mat. Slowly lowering right back down. Taking your time. Maybe you're noticing, like me, that your spine is a little bit chunky or clunky this morning. Rose. One more time. And this time as you lower the hips, drawing the knees in. Once again, rocking side to side. Bringing our feet down to the floor. Moving our cat to the side. So we lower our knees down, coming up onto our hands and knees. Coming into our cat and cow. So exhales, we arch our back up, dropping through our chin, dropping through our tailbone. Then inhales, we lift, looking up towards the ceiling. Exhales, we arch. Inhale as we lift. One more time. Then we're going to move into our spinal balance. If I can get a hand placement here. Exhaling as we lift one arm, the opposite leg up. Lowering down. And then the other side. One more. And then we're going to sink back into child's pose. And one more nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, to reach our arms, starting to lift our hips, tucking our toes, pressing up and back to downward facing dog. Keeping a bend in our knees. Oh, good grief, this cat. You're gonna have to leave. Good. All right. Walking our feet in place. And then just settling into down dog for a couple breaths, keeping a bend in the knees. Inhaling forward, lowering your knees down, exhaling back, child's pose. Inhaling forward, kneeling plank. Exhale, sinking back, child's pose. Inhaling forward, kneeling plank. Exhale, sinking back. And just continuing. Let two pose flow at a pace that feels good for you. This time, as we come forward into that kneeling plank, we're going to exhale all the way down onto our abdomen, hands under our shoulders. And inhale as we exhale, lifting our palms, baby cobra. Lowering down, pressing back, child's pose. Then on the next inhale, we're going to make our way back to downward facing dog. Taking a couple breaths here, then walking our feet forward, coming into a forward fold. Arms and head hang heavy, bending your knees as deeply as you need to make this comfortable for your low back. Gently shaking your head no, gently nodding your head yes. Inhale to prepare as we exhale, coming all the way up to standing, hands coming down to heart center. Nice deep breath in, exhale, hands coming down together. We'll start to add on a little bit of a chair, sinking back through our hips. Relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your jaw. One more time. This next time we're going to stay up, standing nice and tall. Palms coming down to heart center. Closing our eyes, bringing our focus inward on our breath. Noticing your inhale and your exhale. How it feels in your body. One more nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, opening your eyes, bring your hand down to your hip. Inhale, reaching up and out of your rib cage. Exhale as we start to come into that lateral flexion. Inhaling back up, reaching your arm up toward the side. Slowly coming back up one more time, either direction, lifting nice and tall. And one more. And back up. We're going to come into chest expansion so we can reach energetically through our fingertips, or if it's okay for you, bringing your palms together, lacing your fingers, feeling that opening through your chest. Inhale, and as we exhale, your option is to come forward. Remember, it's just an option. Keeping a bend in your knees. Whichever position your hands in, continue to reach away. Deep breath in, and as we exhale, coming back up to standing, and reach our arms up overhead. Hands coming down to heart center. We're going to take a big step back to the long edge of our mats. Just coming up for our moonflowers. Bending our elbows as we bend our knees. Same thing, but with long arms, coming into our sunflowers. And then finally meeting in sun pose, arms extended, palms facing up, nice bend in the knees. Hands coming down to our waist. Inhale as we exhale, starting to hinge forward, bringing our hands to our mat. Letting your head hang heavy, gently shaking your head no, gently nodding your head yes. Let's bend one knee as we take our hands towards that leg. They don't actually have to touch it, just that general direction. And then shift your weight over, walking towards the opposite. One more time, let's bend as we take a stroll and switch. Bringing our hands to center, staying here, but just in your own time, gently shifting your weight side to side as you bend one knee, straighten, bend the opposite knee, and straighten. Letting your head hang heavy. No need to build extra tension through your neck. And then keeping your legs straight, just really relaxing into the standing straddle, feeling the stretch through your legs. Then bending the knees, using your hands to help you if you need to, coming all the way up to standing. I've turned into Cousin It. Nice deep breath in, and as we exhale, giant step back to the front of our mat. Inhale up, exhale forward fold. Stepping back, downward facing dog. Choosing to stay here or lower down to your knees and finding your way to child's pose. Wherever you are, thinking about breathing into your low back. And then let's all join our friends in down dog. Reaching one leg up high behind us. Inhale. As we exhale, draw the knee in towards the forehead. Place the foot down. Engage through your core muscles. Coming up to a high lunge, crescent lunge. Relax your shoulders. We're going to open right up into Warrior 2. Straightening our front leg, sitting back into our back hip, reaching forward to triangle. Lifting back up to Warrior 2. Front palm turns up, reaching forward, reach back, reverse warrior. Then we're going to windmill our arms all the way down to the floor, pivoting on that back foot. Hey, there's a missing sock from when I did laundry yesterday. I was wondering where that sock was. Stepping back to down dog. Lifting the opposite leg up. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, bring the knee in towards your forehead. Place the foot down. Oh gosh, engage through your core. Coming up. That crescent lunge. Inhale, and as we exhale, opening right up into that Warrior 2. We'll give you one more chance, Missy. Straightening that front leg, sitting back into the back hip. Finding our way into triangle. Inhaling back up to Warrior 2. Front palm turns up, reaching forward, reaching back. To Warrior 2. Windmill our hands down, stepping back. Down dog. Again, reaching that first leg up. Inhale. Exhale, draw the knee in towards your forehead. Place the foot down. Make your way up to Crescent Lunge. I'm on the wrong leg. Anyway, opening up to Warrior 2. Have to switch legs. Straightening that front leg, sitting back into the hip, reaching forward, down to triangle. Inhaling back up. Front palm turns up, reaching forward, reaching back, reverse. Coming back to Warrior 2, we're going to change it this time. We're going to lift that back heel. We're going to pivot back to Crescent Lunge. Then we're going to take a giant step forward so our feet are a whole lot closer together. Toes are all pointing straight ahead. We're going to inhale. As we exhale, we're going to start to hinge over that front leg, trying to keep our legs pretty straight, really pressing into our big toes. Hands can come to the floor, your shin, your thigh. But we really want to feel a stretch through the back of that front leg. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. And then whichever foot is in front, I want you to push your hips towards the opposite side. So my left leg is in front, so I'm pushing my hips a little bit towards the right. Then step your feet together, bend your knees. Then stepping the opposite foot back. So for me, that is my left foot. Finding your version of pyramid. Oh dear. Rose. No. Just trying to get in that darn window again. And bringing both knees or both feet together, bending your knees, bringing your hands to the floor, stepping back. Downward facing dog. This time, we're going to go from down dog right into pigeon. So reaching one leg up. Inhale. As we exhale, bring that knee to the outside of the wrist. And ease the opposite leg down. You want to feel like your hips are fairly level here. Rosie, come here. Come here. If you want to come down onto your forearms, you may. Come here, Rosie. We're going to stay here for about a minute. So you want to be able to feel the stretch. You don't want to feel like you're being torn to pieces. So make adjustments as needed. Rose. Might feel good to sway a little bit, move a little bit side to side. If it does, go for it. If it doesn't, then don't. We're going to come back up onto our hands. If you did, lower down onto your forearms, tucking your back toes, pressing everything back. Down dog. Next, lifting that opposite leg up. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, bring the knee to the outside of the wrist. Easing the foot down. Again, finding that place that feels good for you. Relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your jaw. Coming back up onto your hands if you're on your forearms. Once again, tucking those back toes, pressing up and back. This time lowering down to our knees. Coming back to cat and cow. Exhaling as we arch. Inhale as we lift. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. I tried to give you a warning, but it came very quickly. Cat and cow. Coming back to neutral, we're going to thread the needle. So I'm going to turn to the side here, or to the front, I guess. And we're going to reach one arm through, opposite arm and leg. Reaching out. If you can't bring your head to the floor, you can use a pillow or a block or book or something to rest your head on so you don't have to hold it up there. Continuing reaching through the arm, and make sure that your shoulder isn't slammed into the floor. There's still some space between the floor and my arm at the top of my shoulder. And then slowly retract. We'll do the other side, reaching through. And slowly coming back up. And one more time, either direction. Reaching through. This time as we come up, we're going to continue to reach up and then bring the arm down. And then feeding through. Then reaching up. Going back to all fours. Now, before we do our next pose, if you have a thin mat, you may want to double it up, or you may even want to put a cushion under our knees. We're going to tuck our toes, and we're going to start to bring some weight back, stretching out through our foot. Remember, if you're like me, you might have to reach back and tuck that pinky toe. He's just so little. And then, if it's okay, you can keep walking up. I'm remembering why I never leave my hair all the way down when I teach, because it is in my face the entire time. And then we're going to come back down. You're going to relax the foot. We're going to sit back so that we're sitting on our heels. If this is too much for you, put a pillow underneath or simply come down into a seated position. We're going to feel the whole tops of your foot pressing into the mat. And maybe leaning back a little bit if that's okay for you. Relaxing your shoulder, your jaw. And slowly coming back onto all fours. Lowering your hip to one side, sweeping your feet around. Let's make our way into butterfly. So we bring the soles of our feet together, grabbing onto our ankles, sitting nice and tall, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, staying here. Or if we choose, starting to come forward, but keeping that good spinal alignment so we're not rounding through the back. Shoulders are open. Back up nice and tall. If you did come forward, let's open up our legs. Seated straddle, flexing your feet. I'm going to back up so hopefully I stay on screen. Same thing, you can start to walk your feet forward a little bit. No, your hands forward a little bit. We might get another visitor here. Taking a stroll towards one foot. Here's a whisker on the floor. Rose, is this yours? It's a long one. Slowly stroll to the other leg. Gently coming back. We're going to bring the legs in. We're going to come into cow face pose. So bringing one leg over top of the bottom. This might be your version of cow face. That's okay. Maybe it's okay for you to bring your legs in a little bit more to the side, or maybe tucking them right in. You want to be able to feel both of your hips on the mat, and your knees should be roughly one on top of the other. So whatever leg is on top, opposite arm's going to reach behind the head, the other arm reach behind the back, opening up through your elbows. Hi, Clara. This is Darth Vader, everybody. Let's bring our arms down, and we're going to set up on the opposite side. So remember which leg's on top. You're going to bring it out, bring the other leg on top, and remember to go to this incrementally because it's going to feel quite a bit different on the second side. So starting here, then maybe bringing your legs out to the side a bit, then maybe tucking them in, making sure that both glutes are firmly on your mat. Opposite arm comes behind the head, then opening through your elbows, maybe coming forward a little bit if that feels good for you. Coming back up nice and tall, bring your arms down, and we're just going to bring our feet so that our legs are crossed. Sitting nice and tall, inhale. As we exhale, starting from our belly button, we're going to turn towards the side, then turn through our ribs, then through our chest, bringing our hands down for support. You're going to keep your hand on the knee, and as you turn back to the front, you're going to reach your other arm around, grabbing the opposite knee, and we're going to rock a little bit side to side. And coming back up nice and tall, nice deep breath in. Exhale, turning from the belly, then the ribs, then the chest. That seated twist in the opposite direction. This time, as you slowly come back to the front, keep your hand on the knee or reach the opposite arm around. And coming back up nice and tall. Inhale, reaching up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Then making your way back up to a seated position. Just a sec. Goodness. Okay. Let's bring our legs out long into staff pose. Getting all covered in cat hair. Sitting nice and tall, feet are flexed, keeping a little bend in our knee. But we're going to stay here for a little bit as we very, very slowly, every 10 to 20 seconds, try to come a little bit further forward, but while maintaining this good spinal alignment. So you're not going to start to round through your back. You're just going to ever so slightly move forward, hinging at the hip until you find that spot, and you'll know it when you find it. And when you find it, you're going to stay there or even ease out of it a little bit. So try to keep your toes pointing straight up. Remembering to breathe, nice stretch through our hamstrings and even into our low back a little bit. And slowly back out of that. Before we do anything else, I want to give you all a minute or two to grab a couple yoga blocks, a couple books, a nice sturdy pillow, something that you're going to be able to put your weight on and it's going to not just squish right to the floor. So if you have a bolster or if you have not like a straight up cushion off of your couch, but sometimes, some pillows are denser than others. So if you have like a foam pillow or something like that, otherwise, a book, something along those lines will suffice. I'm going to hop over here and grab my yoga eggs. But I'll grab this too. This is just a Superstore pillow. It's just a little bit more dense than like a regular pillow, so a throw cushion could work. We're going to lay back. I'm going to try this cushion first just to see. I'm pretty sure it'll work. We're going to lift our hips. We're going to bring something just under our hips. All right, so this compresses a little bit more than I would like, but it's still keeping your hips elevated in a supported way. So if that's all you have, that will work. A yoga block, bring it just up under your hips. The nice thing about this yoga egg is if I turn it to the side, I have a little bit more movement. I can kind of flow a little bit side to side. But I want us to all come into a supported bridge. Oh dear, I'm going to put this down before this cat jumps on me. My knees are hip width apart. Now, if you have any low back pain, it might feel nice if you take your feet a little bit further apart and let your knees fall in towards one another. That can open up the back of your pelvis and let your sacrum find its way back into its little bowl. Then we'll come back to neutral. Well, if she's not going to jump on me, I am going to go back to this side. And then if you are using a yoga block, this probably isn't going to work if you're using a pillow, but if you're using a block, you can bring one knee up if you wish. You can start to bring the opposite leg up, and you can come into a supported shoulder stand. Giving a bend in your knees. Rose, what are you doing back there? If you did lift your legs, slowly lowering them back down to the floor. Let's lift the hips and take your block or whatever you've put under them down. You're going to bring your hips down. You're going to bring your knees to your chest while I go investigate because this cat is into something. Rose, get out of that. Scoot. Then let's bring one foot to the floor, crossing the ankle over the knee. Oh my gosh. And then we're going to switch sides. Then reaching our legs out long, we're going to draw one knee in, hugging behind the knee joint. We're going to leave that opposite leg out there nice and long as we draw some little circles in the air with our kneecap. Releasing one leg at a time instead of both together. Let's take it the opposite direction. And then hugging that leg in. We're going to flex the foot. We're going to start to extend the leg, bringing the knee closer towards the underarm. And you're going to grab onto the outside of the leg or the outside of the foot into a half happy baby. Then gently releasing the leg, extending, bringing the opposite knee in, grabbing behind the knee joint. And then drawing that circular shape in the air with your kneecap. I obviously should have turned on my ring light. It's getting a little dark. Hopefully you can just listen to my voice and know what you're doing. I thought it was bright enough without it, but I guess not. And to the opposite direction. And then just hugging that leg in. Start to flex the foot, extend the knee, bring the knee towards the underarm. Reach up, grab onto the outside of the leg or the outside of the foot into a half happy baby. If you're feeling like you'd like to go into a full happy baby, go ahead and bring that other leg up. You can rock a little side to side. And then if whether you're in half or full, to bring our legs down to the floor, bending our knees. One more time, returning to that flowing bridge, gently lifting your hips, peeling one vertebrae at a time up off of the floor, slowly lowering right back down. Trying to articulate each vertebrae. One more time. And we're going to make our way into constructive rest. So just walking our feet a little further away from our bodies into that position where our psoas can relax. If you wish, you can grab your eye pillow, scarf, whatever you might have if you wish to put something over your eyes. We're going to stay here for about 2 minutes and then transition into final relaxation. Feeling free to stay in this position if you like, or extending your legs out into Shavasana. Perhaps you prefer to be on your side or your belly. Find that position that will be most relaxing for you in this moment. Relaxing your eyelids, your eyes behind your eyelids, your forehead, cheeks, tongue, lips, jaw, your neck. Feel relaxation flowing down each arm, relaxing your hands and fingers, your shoulders, continuing down your torso, breathing in to your pelvis, low back, hips, feeling everything relax on the out breath. That flow continues down your legs, your kneecaps, the space behind your knees, then your ankles, feet, and toes. As you exhale, feeling everything just melt a little bit further into the floor. Letting go of all that tension you didn't even realize you were holding. Slowly starting to bring your attention back to the room, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, allowing your eyes to stay closed, but if you do have something over your eyes, placing it to the side so you can begin to readjust to the light in the room. Taking your time, but maybe slowly starting to roll onto your side, using your arms to help press yourself up to a seated position. Slowly letting your eyes open. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, hands come down together. And again, breathing in. And exhale. Oh, one more time. The light in me honors and respects the light in you. And we finish our practice with namaste. Thank you guys so much. I started to get the hiccups there at the end. I hope you have a great Monday. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.